37th parallel on America's haunted highway, it's Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pixelated Paranormal. This will be episode 278. My name is Sean. I have an infected hangnail on my middle finger, and with me, as always, is my good friend Preston. Preston, buddy, how are ya?
What's up, all you crococoons, crocodingos, skeletors, and skelettes, witchers and witches, and I don't know, whatever the fuck else you want to be. Unless you're drinking Bud Light, get the fuck out of here. We're classy motherfuckers.
I don't think you can say that.
What?
So maybe the phrase is unless you're complaining about Bud Light, because if you drink Bud Light,
there it is. That's what I meant to say. No, because you know what? Like, if you're drinking Bud Light anyways, you have no taste whatsoever. You're fucking like, you're drinking toilet water. Like, you know what? Figure out your taste buds and go drink a classier beverage of choice. Like, figure it the fuck out, you dumb rednecks. That's what I meant to say.
Hey. Okay, gotcha. I was like, holy fuck, we just talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bud Light shitty beer, but you know what? They're inclusive and they don't really give a fuck. I'll cut this part out of the normal audio, but I do giggle a lot at everybody who's like, I'm just going to quit drinking Bud Light. Fuck them. The people who made those decisions for the advertising are smarter than all of us, and they're clearly going to expect a slight dip in sales or probably a giant skyrocket. They're not fucking mindless rednecks like the people who drink a lot of it. So, I mean, they made decisions based on, educated assumptions and how their fucking stocks are going to do, so.
We went to that Curiosity Oddity thing in Oklahoma like 2 weekends ago. Yeah. I'm gonna bitch for a second about that, like, in a minute, but I'd like to take a moment. Okay. Like, I was thirsty. Daddy wanted a beer, and I was like, fuck it. I'll roll with a Bud Light can that's got the shit. I don't give a fuck. I just want a beer. So, yeah, your boy rolled around the Curiosities and Oddity expose with a fucking can of beer that everybody's pissing and moaning about. And then when I got done with that, I'm just like, fuck, it's Bud Light. Gross. Go get me a fucking Miller. Like, oh, fuck, that's gross too. I'm like, they're all fucking light beers, fucking gutter trash, all right?
Yeah.
So
the thing is, too, like, as far as from an advertising standpoint, like, you're an artist. I went to school for commercial design. Bud Light's not the first person to do this kind of advertising. They won't be the last, and so why people get so up in arms about one specific brand is fucking beyond me. But, I mean, if you look back in the history, especially recently, almost every general fucking American beer company has done advertising like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get the fuck... You know what, society? Get the fuck over yourself. Anyways, I'm probably fucked, man. So I went to that expose and I bought myself a real authentic Lucky's rabbit foot. Now I gotta ask you a question. I need to know. Like,
does this look like a rash?
No, we're not there yet. That's not what I was what I was getting ready to say. But, like, you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck, right? Mm-hmm. You buy a Lucky's rabbit foot, not a fake. I think, like, buying, like, a fake rabbit's foot is like knocking on fake wood. Like, that shit don't work. It needs to be the real deal. Like, this even had the little furry, authentic rabbit's toenail on it that cut my finger a couple times because I was, messing with it when it was on my my man bag. Anyways, I lost it today. Like, it fell off somewhere. So am I fucked? Am I gonna have bad luck? Or is the asshole that picked it up that's now carrying it with him, is he going to get bad luck? Like, how do you think that works?
Man, I think that, like, on a universal karmic standpoint, I think you bought the rabbit's foot and then you lost it in order for somebody down the line to have found it who's down on their luck to be like, holy shit, this is a real rabbit's foot. It must be my lucky day. So like your bad break is another person's lucky day. So I think somewhere out there in the universe, karma was like, I need this asshole to buy the Let Rabbit's Foot in order to be the vehicle to deliver it to this guy who needs to believe in some kind of, placebo luck to get fucking out of whatever rut he's in. So I think
I'm
you're
still
gonna do
fucking
just
miffed
fine,
that
buddy.
I lost it.
Yeah. Oh, what can you do, buddy? Well,
Honey, if you're
what an
listening to
intro
this episode,
we just
be
had.
prepared to go back to Oklahoma again next year because Daddy needs another Lucky's Rabbit Foot.
Yep. Yeah, those oddity expos are pretty sweet, man. I want to go back too and buy more things that are in jars.
Yeah. Like,
Speaking of
I'm
bad luck,
tempted to
dude.
drop $150 on the fucking preserved cat head in a jar, just so that I can say, like, I know the
Yeah.
wife freaks out. She's like, "Oh my god, that poor little kitty cat," but I'm like, it's not like some dude just went out and like killed a fucking random cat. Like the thing was already
We
roadkill,
hope.
and well, I'm gonna be the positive ray of sunshine here and assume that it was already dead, and I don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to hope. I don't know. That stuff's fun. I don't think I'd buy like a mammal's body part necessarily, but
pussy.
bugs and I was kind of miffed myself. There has been a dead possum in my front yard for, I mean, weeks on end. And I finally thought, okay, this thing's been sitting in the sun long enough. Part of it's still putrid, but like the skull is pretty well like dried up. I'm going to take, oh gosh, I forget his name now, but there was a guy who was watching an episode a while back who told me how to make the proper like, cleaning and preservation paste out of like peroxide and bleach and water. I'm like, I'll probably try to take the skull and do that. And then the next morning it was gone. The whole entire carcass is just completely gone. There's just a spot of dead grass in the front yard. No, oh well, what can you
Mm,
do? Well, I had my
yeah.
own spot of bad luck because I had a hangnail on my finger and I pulled it off instead of clipping it. And then yesterday I decided because our bathtub was draining very, very slowly. So I thought, okay, I'll get some tools and I'll, pop the plug off of there and pull out all the hair and crap. And I don't know what it was. It was two dead squirrels worth of fucking hair and all the buildup and gross bacteria that's, been living on that shit. And I woke up this morning and my middle finger is swollen and the side of it's bright red and angry. And today at work, when I went to pick something heavy up and I squeezed it, I felt like a pop and I had a bunch of pus dripping down it. So here we are.
Yeah.
Speaking of peroxide.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what can you do? Well, buddy, we got a fun episode tonight, and I'm kind of excited, number one, because you wrote this shit, so I got to take the day off. But it's solid. I love it.
Yeah.
I could have sworn we talked about it before, but I couldn't find it in the archives,
So
buddy.
we
So
we
I
we did not, but it's very reminiscent of Stoll, Kansas, because Stoll, Kansas is
thank
another
you.
one of
Yeah.
those. It's like the fucking 10th pit of hell that they put up. Well, we don't want you vagrants and you fucking hipsters coming into our town, goddammit, looking for demons and the devil and fucking ghosts and shit, fucking pissing and shitting everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to sanction off about 95% of the town and put up our own fucking wall, chain link fence and whatever, and keep you fuckers out, which is basically kind of what happened to like
Right.
Dudley Town. And then there's that other place in Kansas that was total bullshit that we covered, that the fifth portal of hell and green toxic gas and zombies and
Yeah. Yeah.
Allisonville, Stevens. I don't fucking know. It was all bullshit. But this one's not bullshit. This one's actual real deal, like Stoll, Kansas.
Yeah.
So
Centralia is what I was thinking of too. That was the city that apparently was like still burning because of the coal mines that caught fire as
yeah,
well. And I think
yeah.
that's what, yeah, I think that's what Dudley Town was in my head. But
And then there's that one in
yeah, you got a pretty
Oklahoma that
fun.
fucking just like it's a coal mining town and like the ground all like got toxic and like holes opened up and there's like one fucking
Mhm.
redneck that's like, I ain't fucking moving. I don't care if I drink the water and I die. My daddy grew up here. My
Right.
granddaddy grew up here. My great I'm gonna die here, motherfucker. And it's like,
Yep.
whoa,
Yep. He's
dude,
the
just
one dude
fucking
who lives there.
take the government buyout, dude. Move from your trailer, dog. It's all good.
Right.
Shit.
Fuck, buddy. Yeah, you get a double wide for that kind of money.
Fuck yeah, that's
Well,
if I'm
before we
fucking
get to
living
this,
big.
right? Well, before we get to our main story, we got one news story for you to kind of, cleanse your palate here and get you excited. I think we talked about this story a couple years ago when it first happened, but about 2 years ago or so, a British rock singer named Brocarde had an announcement to the public that she had met and fallen in love with the ghost of a Victorian soldier named Eduardo. Well, apparently back in 2021, after an argument with a friend caused Brocarde to toss and turn all night in bed, she claims she was confronted by the ghost of Eduardo, a 35-year-old soldier from the Victorian age who died after falling down a well. Anyway, she claims that she could hear him whisper sweet nothings, and then he wrote a love message on her steamy shower door, and of course, she fell head over heels for him. They even had some semblance of sex. She claims that she had spine-tingling orgasms, and she asked people just be open-minded and non-judgmental about her paranormal relationship, and suggested that others might even want to try it because a lot of times ghosts are just trapped in the afterlife but still have carnal needs for affection, just like humans. Well, you fast forward to 2022. The singer updated the story with the follow-up announcement that she and Eduardo were getting married in Las Vegas, and the guest list would include a number of celebrity ghosts, including Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, Johnny Cash, and Henry VIII. But the couple decided to keep things quiet and got married inside an abandoned chapel in an undisclosed location. Well, dear listeners, it appears that this month, Brocarde announced she changed her mind. After putting up with the constant screaming and possessive and intrusive, deep, dark thoughts that Eduardo had supposedly been putting into her head, she's now looking for someone to perform an exorcism to free her from this, quote, marriage, in search of some kind of paranormal divorce. She says within 1 year of living with her ghost, she had gone to a medium for marriage counseling because Eduardo had gave her deep, dark thoughts and resisted her request to take the relationship more seriously. The last straw, though, came when he began haunting her by screaming like a crying baby and stalking her outside the house. I just thought you were trying to get my attention. Sorry. Now she wishes she had taken down the names of the exorcists who were threatening Eduardo because she wants to hire one to perform a paranormal divorce and end her marriage to Eduardo. And if you suspect she might have ulterior motives here, well, you're probably right, because it appears even through this painful time, she's about to release a brand new album chronicling her entire relationship with Eduardo the ghost. Preston, I don't know. What do you think, buddy?
Man, I was trying to find. Hold on, give me a second. Maybe I can find it here. So this reminds me of this story. I was kind of hoping to, I didn't want to play off the cuff here like I normally do. Well, I can't find it, so I'm just gonna have to make shit up, Like I only have to be 30% accurate, right?
I think the math is much higher on that.
Oh, well. Anyway, so there's this I want to cover the topic on the show because I find it fascinating. So there's this English lady that was born right before World War II. And you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with this news story? But give me a minute. I'll get there.
No, I trust you.
And, the premise is she was climbing up a tree on her fucking English property and she fell off, hit her head. And then all of a sudden, like, she started having visions of, like, being alive in ancient Egypt. And she was having, like, nightmares of all these soldiers dying over in Germany. And then come to find out that, like, when the news got back to the area, like, oh shit, Jerry did get his leg blown off, or, Steve did get filled full of holes in her trench. Like, holy crap, how's this little girl? And then she found, like, a tribe of gypsies and learned how to be, like, a snake handler, caller, whisperer. Anyway, she goes over to Egypt and she starts getting obsessed with, like, this one pharaoh. and she ended up naming her son after him, and so her name, like, they changed it to like Rahamamatut, which means like, son of the pharaoh, whatever. And so she kept waking up in the middle of the night, and she was like in her teens, and this petrified, disgusting, gangly mummy would like try to rip her night clothes off. It was like trying to like get with her. And she's like, no, stop. I'm married. I can't. And then a little time goes by. She realizes that in a past life, she was an Egyptian priestess who had an affair with this pharaoh. She got pregnant, broke a bowel, killed herself, and then he died years later, and he was like in the underworld looking for her, couldn't find her. And so then the gods are like, look, this is like a long lost love. We feel sorry for you guys. Basically, you can steal some of her chi energy and take on a physical form. So now she's like in her 30s, she's divorced, and then every night she's getting fucking railed by this like Egyptian pharaoh ghost, like non-jerky dick. Like she's getting the real fucking rod of steel, but she was getting railed by this ghost every night. And minus all that crazy bullshit, she would actually go to historical sites and she would discover stuff that was previously unknown and then claim that it was because she had knowledge of it from a past life, and nobody could ever figure out how this fucking lady knew so much about ancient, Egyptology and how she would find all these discoveries, because I mean, it was the fucking 30s, so they're like, fuck, the fucking woman? Are you kidding me? Don't let her dig. And then she's like, sorry, guys, right over here. Here is going to be the stone sarcophagus. And they go and they dig, and sure as shit. And the whole entire time, she's getting railed by an Egyptian ghost. True story.
Sounds like that should be our next late night episode, because it's got two things we love. Paranormal smut and mummies.
Yeah.
So we might just have to cover that one, buddy.
Sorry, Ramatut. It's a little dried up and beef jerky like. Maybe when you learn how to take some etherical Viagra and get it up a little bit more, I'll let you stick it in me. Oh, Daddy, Mommy's ready.
You're right. I do have to point one thing out about this story real quick. You said it takes place in Pennsylvania. I do believe it takes place in Connecticut.
Oh, fuck you, dude. I ran this through fucking chatbot AI and said, look, double check my work and make sure this is solid show note material. And then it's like, oh, well, how to talk about cursed Dudleytown, Pennsylvania. Well, to start off, you should label the episode The Curse of Dudleytown. Step number 2. And then it gave me all the highlights and, the lows. So,
did you really run it through a chatbot?
Fuck yeah, dude. I want to see if this shit's legit.
Fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know what chatbots is, so I assume that chatbot makes it up for you, but it's more like a grammar teacher, like a fact checker.
So basically what it does is it's artificial. It's the fucking thing that Rob uses when he was like, tell me a story about, Sean and Preston and Corey and blah, blah, blah. And it writes like a whole fucking story. So basically you type in like, look, I'm a podcaster. I need you to write show material for me because I'm lazy. Here's the topic. And then it goes through.
So when you said, don't worry, Daddy's going to cover this episode, your ass made a fucking robot do your homework?
No. Hold on.
Okay.
I already prior did the homework. Like I've already fucking gone through like 20 million different websites to find all this bullshit. And I was like, fuck, I don't know about this. And anyways, I'm like, hey, chatbot AI, buddy, hook Daddy up. And then I'm like,
okay,
write me a podcast. And it was just like, well, step 1, talk about this. Step 2, hit these high notes. Step 3, hit these low notes. And then I was like, I've already got all that. Like, you're going to have to fucking do better. Why is this place like a fucking cursed ground of hell? Well, blah, 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 blah. So then I took all that, and then I'm just like, nope, this is bullshit. This is lame. You're fucking... Apparently you have the intelligence of a 2-year-old, so we're not going to follow this. I did not know that. Chatbot AI, thank you so much. I'm going to steal that little bit of nugget. And then I said, hey... I wrote this show. Why don't you shone it up, and then you took it, and we're like, and just added to it, and you're like, well,
Yes.
it was a 1,200 page document, 7 pages or 4 pages
Word
long,
document, yeah.
and now it's like 2,700 words, 7 pages long. You're welcome. Bleh.
It's funny. So, like, you wrote a paper, and then you had a chat bot proofread it, and then I proofread that because, as it turns out, I do know the story of Dudley Town, and however you wrote this thing, whether you wrote it, a robot wrote it, or both, your facts are all correct except for. I'll correct you on one fact. Let's save it because that'll be fun. And it's nothing big. It's just somebody's name got a little goofy, but
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I mean that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's a fun surprise for the episode. That you
And I
fucking
thought,
literally
and I,
bullied a computer into writing this for you.
I thought about it too because there's a lot of like
Uh,
books that I want to cover, but they're all written in like
mhm.
French or they're all written in German. So wonder if we get Google Translate to translate it and then run that through chatbot AI and be like, look, fucking figure this out, and then be like, stupid, retard, nope, nope, and then we fix that and jazz it up. Like, dude, maybe that's sometimes the way to go. Like, you know, we got to
I
start
don't know
using.
enough about it to say yay or nay, but you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'll just Sean it up in air quotes, and yeah, I checked out and everything checks out, so that's really funny. But
So
anyway, first
here's
out
the
of
reason why
business.
I did it was because I'd gone through like 20 websites and I wasn't getting anything more than
Uh-huh.
what I've already got. And I'm like, dude, there's got to be
Uh-huh.
more out there. And this is what this program's supposed to do. It's supposed to go through like 20,000 websites at once and pull all the general information. And I'm like, I don't know. Let me fact check myself and make sure that this is accurate. And I got like two more things than what I wouldn't have not gotten had I not done it. I'm like, oh, well, shit. I mean,
That's
I
that's
already
pretty
have an
funny. I
episode. I
like
just gotta, weave in like two things from this fucking moronic AI, and you know,
Well, 8 words in, it's wrong. This takes place in Dudleytown, Connecticut. Fucking
hey, you win some, you lose some. Okay, that's all. Why don't you fix that real quick before I pull up the fucking Google Docs? Okay, god
Oh, it
damn
made me
it.
laugh. No, because it's funny because you put Pennsylvania, and I'm like, oh yeah, Pennsylvania. And then when I start doing a little, research on it, I'm like, wait, everywhere else says fucking Connecticut. So I watched a little documentary on YouTube, and I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know where he got Pennsylvania from. Oh, good stuff. Hey, you know what? That's half the fun of it, buddy. We learned
Yeah,
a little bit about ourselves today.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna blame the AI, artificial intelligence, on that one because I said, look, this is what I got. Fucking figure this out for me. Whew. You let me know when you're ready to go. I'm gonna take a hit real quick.
Buddy, whenever you're ready,
It's
you
live
go
TV,
right ahead.
folks. Live TV.
I love it. All right.
The robots are taking over. Fucking Skynet's happening, man. Watch out, brother. The computers are taking over.
Oh God, that's
Yeah.
great.
All right, folks. Anyways, our story tonight takes place in Dudleytown, Connecticut. Dudleytown is a small abandoned village in the western part of the great state of Connecticut.
Now, originally I had AKA the Keystone State, named so because it was the middle colony of the original 13 colonies, and also because Pennsylvania has held a major position in the economic, social, and political development of the good old United SA. But unfortunately, that's not true. So, in fact, let's just say AKA the Constitution State, AKA the Nutmeg State,
Ooh, nutmeg.
as you were. Yeah,
You know,
right?
nutmeg and eggnog and rum. That's the fucking ticket right
Uh-huh.
there. I'm just saying.
That's what you do while you're supposed to be doing your homework. You drink fucking eggnog and let the computer do your paperwork.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, stop
Ugh,
it. Dudleytown is said to be plagued with a curse.
plagued.
Yeah, and some even go as far as to say it's haunted. with legends of strange occurrences and ghostly apparitions dating all the way back to the 18th century. For decades, books were written on New England legends, and they've labeled Dudley Town as everything from Connecticut's favorite ghost town, hold on folks, wait for it, to the village of the damned. Ooh, it's like an Italian
Which is
horror
funny.
movie right there.
I think I've got an old 1950s copy of The Village of the Damned. Here's a fun fact for you, Presto, when you weren't doing your homework. That's what threw me off, is because it says, where is that here? Connecticut's favorite ghost town. And I'm like, why in the fuck does Connecticut call Dudleytown, Pennsylvania their favorite ghost town? Also, yeah, here we go. Village of the Damned.
Village of the
Paperback
Damned.
from 1954. Damn. Yeah, look at that. Anyway, as you were.
But its residents prefer to call hogwash and poppycock on such nonsensical bullshit, and they're fed up with it. God damn it, the tail spinners and their far-fetched myths. They say the legends and the ghost stories have damaged the reputation of their fair town and often lured pesky, noisy polluters, litter bugs, and other undesirables to muck up their little slice of America heaven. Kind of like Sean showing up to explore the ruins of the supposed ghost town, wearing his crusty toe shoes, drinking all organic kombucha, maybe cracking open an ice cold, fucking, like Goza sour cream dreamsicle ale bolt. You fucking hipster. Why the fuck do you ruin it for everybody else? Get the fuck out of here with that. You know what? Go fucking get a different haircut and shave your beard.
I fucking learned it from you, Dad. You literally brewed kombucha at your old house.
Yeah.
I bought toe shoes with you buying a pair of toe shoes in the same fucking room at the same time. And
man, I got two pair right now,
ice
dog.
cold craft beers with you.
Yeah,
I know you do, you fucker. And I do believe I just gave you a can of like some kind of fucking cinnamon spiced ale, and you're like, "Oh, it's pretty good." I like to mix vodka with my Diet Mountain Dew.
Hey. Great Divide Peanut Butter Imperial Stout. That's the drink of tonight. And it's like my third one.
What I'm drinking tonight?
Water? I'm trying to be healthy,
No, I'm
everybody.
drinking a goddamned American lager, you son of a bitch.
Oh, shit. Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Ugh. So, to the town folks of Dudleytown, if anything, they assert Dudleytown is nothing more than a simple village that failed. There are no ghosts, there are no goblins, there is no curse. This is just a fucking slice of America heaven, and we just want to enjoy it in peace. Get the fuck off my lawn. Vagrant.
Well, for decades, there's been a perpetuation of misinformation. Go to Dudleytown, they tell you. It's this real ghostly town, they tell you. But the truth is, Dudleytown's just a big fraud.
What was once a community of farmers, millers, and blacksmith is now a nature preserve. Yeah, dotted with several private homes. I think nature preserve, dude, that's a great way to break in some toe shoes, maybe play some disc golf. Get out the binoculars, enjoy nature, look for some ghosts. Anyways, it's not yet erased, though, or the original community's main arteries, the dark entries and Dudleytown roads, narrowed by disuse. The carriage trails wind past stone walls with an occasional cellar filled in with decaying leaves and tree branches. Like, fuck yeah, dude. That's got ghosts written all over it. I'm already chubbed up just reading that. Like, let's go right now, dude. I got my Indiana Jones bag.
Right.
I got my whip. Let's go.
And your toe shoes.
I got my toe shoes.
See, I like this, though. Like, the main entry into this place is called the Dark Entry, and you got these, carriage trails and stone walls. So the place really is haunted, but just by the ghost of, what once was and those things that once were. But it still kind of, preserves that old 18th century feel. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it.
And one townsman in particular, an architect by the name of Walter Kilham, has lived in Dudleytown since 1938. So I would assume that he was probably a teenager, and now it's like 23. So this fucking guy that's old as fuck, that's probably like in his 90s, is in the same place he's always has been. Back when he built a cabin near the north entrance to Dudley Town Road. The architect who helped design West Point was hiking from New York to Canada when he stopped in the area and decided he would camp out for the night. And then he
What a badass, man. He helped build fucking West Point.
Yeah, yeah. And then he bought 40 acres surrounding the camping spot and has since built 14 structures by his own hands, goddammit. And once known as to residents as the Hermit of Dudleytown, Mr. Kilham is often asked by tourists to point the way to the nearest ghost.
So this guy himself is a fucking ghost. Like, he is what haunts this fucking town.
You goddamn kids, stay off my fucking lawn. It's that goddamn poop again. God dang it.
Cold shit. Poop. I like the idea that Mr. Killam is like the one surviving mortal of Dudley Town, and it's his sole job just to like beat back the ghosts and keep them all at bay. But dude, that's his curse. He has to live there till he dies.
Yeah, he's like a vampire. Dude's like 95 and he's still kicking. And you're just like, dude, how are you not dead? And he's like, it's stay off my lawn, whippersnapper.
Right? Well, if you're one of those hipsters like me and Preston asking Mr. Killam where's the nearest ghost, he'd holler back, I tell you, if you believe in ghosts, I guess you'll find one, and if you don't, then I guess there ain't gonna be none.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yep.
Oh, wisdom from the elders right there. If you believe it, you'll find it. If you don't believe it, get fucked. So, Dudleytown itself is actually a section of Cornwall town that was settled in 1738 by a farmer named Thomas Griffiths and is rested on a hilly plateau surrounded by the Bald and Coalfoot Mountains. The settlement soon expanded with other families with names like Jones, Patterson, Carter, Tanner, Dibble, and the corn dog himself, Mr. Porter. Yeah.
Mr. Porter.
What do you got to say about that, Corey? Because of its abundance of owls, hoots echoed through the strands of the white pines and hemlocks and native chestnuts, and the original settlers nicknamed it Owlberry.
I like that. That's pretty fun. Well, Preston, this is pretty cool. You set the setting and blah, 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 history lessons, blah, blah. But, close your history book, professor. And why don't you get to the good shit, right? I thought you said something about fucking curses and not just some crotchety old porch decoration.
I mean, fuck you, dude, because, Pink Floyd said, how can you have your meats if you don't have your pudding? Okay, we got to get to the good, we got to get to the history first and set the stage before you get to the main course. Fuck, man, just give me a second, all right? Goddamn. Fuck.
Enough with the foreplay.
Anyways, the origins of the curse and legends surrounding Dudleytown, Pennsylvania are not entirely clear. Go fucking figure, right? Some theories suggest that the town was cursed by... Oh, stop it. It's always the Native Americans. Like, those fucking guys. Who were displaced by the arrival of Europeans, so they put a fucking curse on the area. Others claims that the curse was placed on the town by a man named Thomas Dudley, who is said to have been a witch or a sorcerer, and that's where I fucking chub up.
Right, so this is the funny part. Again, Native Americans, they're bad people, but, white folks, we killed a bunch of them, and we're also fucking witches, so go figure.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote the history books that weren't Native American. Anyway, I'm also Chubbin Preston, so proceed. And
it wasn't until around 1747 when the first Dudley arrived. A certain Abel and Brazili Dudley, veterans from the French and Indian Wars, and then they were later joined by Gideon and Martin and Obadiah. Who the fucking people that name their kids? Like, most people are like, Matt, Chris, Tom, John. I mean, they all kind of, they kind of fit. And then you got fucking Abel and Gideon, Bible names, and then like, I don't know, was Uncle Jerry Italian? Let's name this one Brazili. Martin, fuck that guy. You know, I don't like that kid anyways. And then Obadiah,
Yeah. Classic names from the 1700s, folks.
there you go. Whether the foursome were brothers is unknown, but because of their numbers and industrialness, the Dudleys were able to give their name to the community. And according to legends, which Mr. Killam said were started in the 1920s by local residents, the later demise of the community stemmed from the curse of the Dudley family, whose history followed them from England. Records show that one Edmund Dudley had his head chopped off by Henry VII for annoying members of the court circle.
So if that's all it takes, you know, for you to get separated from your fucking body, you and I would have been fucked a long time ago, especially because you and your robot annoyed me. It was Henry VIII that actually cut off Edmund's head, not Henry VII, but of course you and your fucking robot companion didn't know that. Also, here's a fun fact for you that your computer left out. Also beheaded by King Henry VIII, Edmund was also beheaded by King Henry VIII because he also claimed he had committed treason above just being an annoying pain in the dick.
Well, Edmund's son was also a pain in the dick. John, the Duke of Northumberland, plotted to overthrow Edward by marrying his son, Lord Guthrie Dudley, to Lady Jane Grey. And after the king's death, she became queen for a short time. And as oftentimes these things tend to go tits up, their plot failed. And as a result, Lady Jane and both the Dudleys were
decapitated.
There you fucking go. Now we got a whole fucking bunch of this family missing their heads. In the meantime, Lord Gufford Dudley's brother, a military officer, returned to England from France infected with the plague. Because, well, what the fuck, dude? If you know you're infected with the plague, like, do yourself a favor and go in a fucking shack in the woods and get away from society. No, not this asshole. He fucking was like, got pus all over the face, pus coming out of his dick. He's coughing up blood. Goes back to his whole fucking platoon, a whole village. Kills basically thousands of people. I'm thinking like bad karma is basically just following this family around. And, thousands of English citizens were killed by this asshole because, you know, he just wasn't smart. It's just seasonal allergies, guys. Don't mind the pus coming out of my eyeballs. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm not a leper. This is hay fever.
Yeah. Another of Guilford brothers, the Earl of Leicester, said to be the favorite of Elizabeth I. Later left England for unexplained reasons, probably because he was fucking her and, you know, they had an affair and he had to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Happened to fucking Edmund.
Yeah, you know, his descendant William Dudley was the first to come to Connecticut, settling in Guilford. Three of his descendants moved to Cornwall in the middle of the 1700s, and many of the original settlers moved away by the early 20th century, and then the town was completely abandoned.
I like to picture Mr. Killham like Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th just screaming, "It's got a death curse!" Because I'm telling you
he lost her head, she lost her head, he lost her head. They're all fucking losing their heads around here. Don't stay the night, Sonny. Get the fuck off my porch.
Right. It's the bloody, bloody curse, I tells you.
Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Legends of Dudleytown's curse and hauntings may have arisen from the fact that it was a remote and isolated community that was difficult to reach and had a small population, a.k.a. it was a shithole. That mixed with the notoriously eerie atmosphere and abandoned buildings and poor soil conditions may have contributed to the perception that the town was cursed or even haunted. Another theory suggests that the curse and the hauntings are linked to mental health issues and that the Dudley family, because it turns out some of the members were diagnosed with hereditary mental illness. It's also worth mentioning here that during the times of Dudleytown's founding, the term witch was used in a different way than it is today. That's right. You don't have to be eccentric and, light incense and dance around a fire naked. In the past, a witch was considered to be someone who had supernatural powers, whether they were benevolent or malevolent. But the term was also used to describe individuals who were perceived as being a little different or outside of the norm in some way. A lot like my brother Jason. He's an odd duckling. He's an odd duckling. I'm just saying.
Well, it's kind of like the word geek. Originally the word geek was defined as somebody who worked in a carnival who'd eat insects and rodents that were live still, just to be on the carnival floor. The word geek, went on to refer to people who obsessively studied or avoided going out in large groups, and now all the rage. Now it's all the rage to be a geek because geek is synonymous with the word nerd, is in nerd culture. So, we take these words and we just twist their meanings. But yeah, I like the old idea of a geek, just, chewing the head off of a live rat, rocking back and forth just for a couple nickels.
Like Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off a bat.
Yep.
Yeah. It's possible that the legend of Thomas Dudley being a witch is a result of the isolated and remote nature of Dudleytown. And in fact, that it was founded by a single family, the Dudleys. People living in the nearby towns may have been intrigued by the strange occurrences happening in the area and attributed them to the Dudley family and their supposed supernatural powers.
So it's a lot like Daniel Leeds and the Leeds family in the history of the Jersey Devil. It's just some kind of weird family that lives off in the woods, so let's just fucking blame everything on them.
Yeah, they're probably out there fucking goats and decapitating chickens and God knows what else. Summoning Satan, motherfuckers. Not in our fucking
like a
towns.
bunch of geeks.
This is goddamn colonial USA. We just fuck yeah, celebrate the 4th of July. Get the fuck out of here with your goat fucking. God damn it. Let me crack open the Sam Adams 1770 ale. America. Revolution, baby. Anyways.
Right.
In its earlier years, the close-knit community was inhabited mostly by farmers who grew flax, wheat, and corn. Overall, the village remained dependent of Cornwall for a variety of other services. Dudleytown residents attended the Congregational Church in Cornwall Plain and used its cemetery to bury their dead. Dozens of legends recall the tragedies that befell Dudleytown. One of the first tells of the untimely death of Grishone Hollister in 1792. Whatever, who gives a fuck? We're not known for pronouncing things right, dude. We're just gonna roll with it. In some accounts, this guy died by falling off a uncompleted scaffolding during a barn raising. Apparently, they didn't have the Amish to teach him how to do it right. And in others, he was murdered in the home of William Tanner, a neighbor to Abel Dudley, who was said to have died a demented pauper.
So yeah, allegedly after Tanner killed old Gershon, he went stark raving mad about how he had the ability now to talk to animals, and oftentimes late at night he'd be visited by demons. AKA hereditary mental illness.
Yeah. Or was it? I don't know. Yeah.
It's got a death curse.
Other famous victims of Dudleytown's curse include Nathaniel Carter's family, who moved in Dudleytown around 1759. And they lived in the house once owned by Abel Dudley. 4 years later, the family moved to Binghamton, New York, and built a log cabin. Apparently, the curse followed them, and in 1764, while Nathaniel Carter was away from home, a band of hostile... It's the Indians again. Come on, give these guys a break. They invaded the homestead and massacred the wife and children and fucking scalped some people and buried everybody in the front yard. Whatever.
Fuck's sake. I don't know that that's a curse. That's just, shitty luck. If indeed it was natives that took him I don't know. I feel like they kind of got the brunt end as always, and we just had to have a bad guy to blame everything on. So, what happened to you? Did
Yeah.
you fall down the stairs and bump your head? No, it was Native Americans. It was Indians. They did it.
They came and
Oh,
scalped me, but they only got one little spot right here. God damn it, the knife was dull. God, I don't know what the fuck to do. They're trying to get my buffalo, Jerry. One of the more famous legends tells how Mary Cheney Greenlee, the wife of Horace Greenlee, hanged herself a week before her husband lost the bid for presidency in 1872. Wah wah. Another recalls how the Revolutionary War hero General Herman Swift lost his mind after his third wife was struck by lightning.
Jesus.
Jeez. Another
The other two
story about the settlement has spread, and folklore say residents began to leave, and by the 1900s, Dudley Town had been abandoned. Then, in 1924, Dr. William Clark, a cancer specialist from New York, I mean, we all know how that goes, because that fucking what's that hotel that we stayed in
Hotel in Eureka Springs. That's what I thought of. Yeah.
yeah, fucking cancer. Here's the thing, guys. I'm a cancer specialist. I got the cure of cancer in a jar. It's basically vinegar, arsenic, and it's probably gonna fucking kill you anyways. I don't know. Just fucking drink it. Pay me $500.
What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
It's like when I tried your first kombucha.
Yeah. And anyways, this fucker bought 1,000 acres on the Bald Mountain, which part of it contained Dudley Town. According to David E. Phillips, a folklorist and author of Legendary Connecticut, Dr. Clark and his wife lived peacefully in Dudley Town until one summer when he was called away to New York on business. He returned home 36 hours later. His wife was nowhere to be found. Mr. Phillips wrote about it in this way.
But as he pushed open the front door, which had been left swinging ajar, he heard a sound that he would never forget. From upstairs room came the maniacal, uncontrolled laughter of one who had taken leave of her senses. During his absence, his wife had gone quite mad.
Do you think it's like something in the water?
Or Native Americans?
I'm pretty
Just
sure
kidding.
it's the water.
Can't blame him.
Pretty sure it's the
Can't
water.
blame him for this one.
Yeah. Anyways, folklorists attribute Dudley Town's demise solely to the curse of the Dudley family. But for residents like John and Jean Leish, who have lived in the Bald Mountains for 36 years, the community failed because of poor farming conditions and lack of financial opportunities. The leeches added that the real curse of Dudley Town are the legends themselves. Your fucking bullshit stories. Get out of here with ghosts and goblins and witches and fuck
Take
that
your
fairy
shoes and
tale.
get the fuck out.
Yeah, with your fucking toe shoes. Get out of here. And, all that bullshit has attracted everyone from witchcraft societies to motorcyclists who tear up the highway and throw beer cans along the way. Somebody's a little fucking salty, I think.
I guess so. Holy shit. They come roaring up here expecting there to be toilet facilities and concession stands. What they don't realize is there's absolutely nothing to be seen.
During the day, you fucking hillbilly, but at night, that's when the shit happens, right? Anybody who
Right.
grew up in the 90s who played Castlevania 2 Simon's Curse know that the shit gets real when the sun goes down. How about that? Catch me outside, hillbilly.
Just
Anyways.
to correct you, Simon's. But anyway.
What'd I say? Simon's Curse?
Curse.
Yeah.
All this talk of
Curse, Quest, it's all relevant. Anyways, Mr. Killam said that he's had tour buses invade his properties. In one incident, a tour group led by a guide stood on his property to see if they could feel any vibrations. Other times, he's had to tow out cars belonging to drivers who got stuck on the carriage trails. Though the Cornwall Historical Society still stocks maps of Dudley Town that show where certain families lived, as well as a book written in 1966 documenting its history, it does not encourage ghost seekers. The True Facts of Dudley Town, written by Harriet Clark. a resident of Cornwall whose ancestors lived in the cursed city. The booklet pieces together the history of the community that simply prospered and then died of natural causes. Miss Clark, a former president of the Historical Society who's now in her 90s, concludes the book with a plea to the tourist.
Today's owners and taxpayers of Dudley Town are professional people who live there for privacy and seclusion. They do not welcome tourists or those seeking tales of chilling or wild experiences. Please do not come. There are no ghosts, no spirits, and no curse.
Maybe, bitch, it's because you're not a believer. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, presto, old buddy, there seems to be a little discrepancy here because the tale of Dudley Town, even though many historians and townsfolk argue that there aren't any real ghosts or hauntings in the area, it seems as though, buddy old pal, there's another famous ghost hunting couple that claims that there are. See, back in 1926, when Edward C. Starr published his history of Cornwall, for some reason, he included 2 pages of fiction about Dudley Town and the residents. Well, Starr's book didn't get much attention for about the first 50 years of its life sitting there on bookshelves until the early 1970s when a certain infamous Connecticut couple, Ed and Lorraine Warren, caught wind of the tale of Dudley Town, a.k.a. Village of the Damned, and so yet again they stick their noses in this business. And now for people of the paranormally uneducated, this famous power couple is the self-proclaimed demonologist duo that had, of course, famously investigated Amityville for its hauntings, and they kept an occult museum in the back of their Monroe home and wrote books like Satan's Harvest, Werewolf and Ghost Hunters, True Stories from the World's Most Famous Demonologists. I do have Ghost Hunters, I just want to say that. As much shit as I talk, I still have the book. But Ed and Lorraine would go on to videotape a Halloween special from Dudley Town, where they declared it demonically possessed. And Ed Warren even stated that Dudley Town was controlled by something very terrifying. But skeptics, however, investigated their claims of demons and hauntings, and they all concluded that this was just a bunch of bullshit. But that didn't stop their investigation of Dudley Town from opening up the floodgates to a ton of annoying tourists. So much so that eventually the Dark Entry Forest Association, which I thought was a band of fucking warlocks, it turns out, again, it references the Dark Entry, which is just the front part of this town. They finally had enough of the tourist bullshit, beer cans, toe shoes, partyings, and pulling people out of their cars out of the mud, so they finally closed off most of the area to the public. Back in 2011, police arrested 8 filmmakers who strayed off the public roads onto private property, trying to make a documentary. So now, stories about Dudley Town come with a warning. It's so creepy, they might not want to let you in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, the Legends of Dudley Town after Blair Witch came out.
Uh-huh.
The writers of Blair Witch never associated with anything with Dudley Town, but the similarities are so close that all the fans of the movie fucking flocked to that area and made things worse. And they're like, God damn it, this ain't the real Blair Witch. This is just a fucking abandoned town with the 12 people trying to live peacefully out in the forest. Get fucked.
Yeah, didn't that movie have a lot to do with like the Bell Witch and stuff like that as well?
Yeah.
I mean, it took inspiration from a lot of different sources, but yeah. Hell yeah, man.
So.
Well, Presto, I don't care what they say about you and your robot writing companion. I really enjoyed that story.
I know. I thought it was solid, you know. And then really the only thing the robot added was, Pennsylvania, which was incorrect.
Right.
And then
and King Henry VII. That was the part
that was it. Everything else it confirmed that I had accurate. try to give me some pointers that I didn't listen to. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking not paying you to give me pointers. Like, look, I just need you to find extra information so I don't have to spend another fucking 2 hours on my phone trying to figure this shit out. Like, I get bored after a while, dog,
Yep. No, you did good, man. I think that turned out pretty well. I really do like the idea that I had said for a while now we should have a computer AI write us an episode, and you fucking just snuck it right in on me.
Yeah.
And didn't tell me until the fucking episode starts rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. Guess what? Snuck her in there, motherfucker.
Yeah. After 7 years of going steady, you still got surprises, baby.
That's right. That's how you keep the romance strong, buddy. That's how you keep the romance strong.
Yeah, dude, we're coming up on our 7th year. We got like about 2 or 3 more weeks until we hit our 7 years, pal.
Ooh, man.
Mm-hmm. 7-year itch.
Yeah. Here's the 7 more. Fuck, we've already done 7. Why not 7 more? Why not 20 more?
Yeah, now the computers write our episodes. We got plenty more time.
But yeah, we could be like Mr. Killman himself. God damn it, you fucking youngsters, and you're fucking piece of shit. God. Hold on, computer, write me a podcast. I can't read the books anymore.
Right. Good stuff. Well, folks, I think that just about does it for this week's episode. We want to thank everybody for listening and for watching live with us. We'd like to correct Preston earlier at the beginning and say that whatever you said was backwards.
Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
But hey, fuck you, no.
Yeah. Ken was like, hey guys, thanks for finally getting on late. Ken, I just want to let you know that's because 5 minutes prior to when we were supposed to start, I sent Homeboy here a message like, hurry up, Buttercup. And he said, I'm coming and coming. I don't know if it's consensual, what was going on. I was a little scared. And eventually he showed up all sweaty, and I don't know. So it's really what I'm saying. It's his fault. It had nothing to do with me. I was early. I was on time. I was prepared. I was ready to go.
Yeah. Yep. You were. Yeah, I try to schedule these things to start streaming like at 9:35 because I know I'm gonna fucking be late. I know I'm gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I still got 20 minutes, and then whatever I think I can get done in 15 minutes always takes way longer, so I'm gonna be late. This time I was trying to download a video game, and I didn't want to try to do this live stream while I had stuff downloading in the background, and 5 minutes and 50 seconds turned into like 9 minutes and 20 seconds, thus making me a few minutes late.
Ugh.
Yeah, but the good news is I got West of Dead for $4, so
and we got West of Dead for $4. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fuck the last video game I bought for both of us. I paid full price. What the fuck, man? God damn it.
I got a good sale.
Yeah.
Got a good sale. Well, folks, if you're on Instagram, please give us a follow at PXL Paranormal. If you're on Facebook, we are the Pixelated Paranormal Podcast. Give us a follow. Shoot us some messages. I'd like to also remind everybody, 7 years is coming up quick, so I mean, sure would love to throw on a couple listener stories. So we're going to start requesting those, do a little call to action. So if you have your own paranormal stories you want to share with us, shoot us an email, pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com, or Ken, I'm talking to you, buddy. Send us a voicemail, 913-662-3144. Leave us a voicemail. Tell us something spooky. If it's offensive, we won't air it. So I'm just going to give everybody that warning.
Yeah. If it's offensive, don't worry. I'll do it myself. We don't need the help from you people to be offensive. I got this.
Yeah, Preston will, he'll do that his own damn self. Yeah, hit us up. Preston, what do you got on YouTube, baby?
We're up to like 255, so we've gained like 2, 3. I don't know what I said we were at last time. But hey, dude, the numbers keep growing, so thank you. If you're watching this live for the first time or you're re-watching it, 2 days later, and you notice at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there's that green splurt, jizz color looking thing that says like and subscribe. I mean, it's a soft suggestion. It's not there for shits and giggles. Literally, hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends, help us grow this show. Well, I mean, we're not getting paid and we don't want to get paid, but really we just like to get this content out to more people. So, because we love the unusual and the strange, and we want you to love the unusual and the strange. So, fucking share it with all your friends, dorks. God damn you,
And we want
geeks
you guys
and
to quit
nerds
fucking-
and witchers and witches and sorcerers and what the fuck. Just go do your fucking job. Share the show. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and we want you guys to quit fucking crying about beer cans. Just fucking pour it in a glass and drink it. Get over it.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, fuck it. And if that fucking offends you that bad, drink craft beer, man. You know?
Like, that's the thing I don't get. Like, I drink craft beer, and I swear to God, half of the shit that they put on those cans, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I feel like there's some story that I'm oblivious to that would make my life better if I could just figure out what the fucking symbols mean. And here, you're fucking bitching about fucking Bud Light. Fucking drink a better beer. Like, who fucking gives a shit what the fuck Bud Light puts on their fucking can? Brr!
Yep.
Craft
there
beer.
You go. As
You
an
know, there you
act
go.
of defiance and boycotting them, don't throw away what's in your fridge. Give it to somebody who will drink it, and instead spend your money on something like a fucking avocado toast goza. See what that does for you.
Ooh. God, call me Mr. Fancy Pants right now. Oh.
That sounds fucking horrible. Avocado toast goza. Anyway,
My
Preston, what do you
my
got about
toes
Dom,
just
boy?
my toes just curled at that. Yeah,
Mine just fucking fell off.
yeah. Oh fuck, Dobbs. That's where we're at. Look, need a beard, want a beard. If you want to grow a beard that's going to take away from the fact that you're wearing fucking toe shoes and you are a hipster, I mean, maybe Dobbs, maybe not Dobbs. I don't know. I mean, it might help. It helps me. People don't realize that I have toe shoes on. They don't realize that I have hippie beads. They don't realize that I'm a loving, free, spiritual being that, is fucking like Buddha, really. I'm like modern day Buddha. So, why? Because I got fucking Dobbs in my beard. I fucking walked into Quick Trip the other day, and I had like Bay Rum just fucking ladder. It's like, it's all over this thing. This thing was like glowing, oily, soft. And this guy looked at me and goes, dude, you fucking smell amazing. And I'm like, Big Dobbs, beardbomb.com, promo code PXLPARA for 20% off your order, dog. I'm just telling you, I'm just going to give you a freebie right now. You look like you could use a lot of help, and Dobbs is it for you. I mean, look what it did for me. I'm just saying. So get it all, get it at Dobbs.
And if you're in the Wichita area, please stop by, see our dear friend Leslie and the rest of the gang at CD Trade Post Pawnee and Seneca. All right, well, I just took the last sip of my drink, but I will still raise this glass to all you fine folks out there and say cheers to the weird shit in the world and those of us that love to talk about it.
And stay spooky and stay on the paranormal highway. The cast at Pixelated Paranormal would like to thank you for listening to this week's episode. Pixelated Paranormal is here to tell you tales of the fantastical, the strange, the unknown. Tales that will move you a little further down the paranormal highway. If you'd like to share your own listener story, we would love to hear it. Email us at pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. Again, that's pixelatedparanormal@gmail.com. We'd really love to hear from you. Again, thanks for listening to this week's episode of Pixelated Paranormal, your guide to the unusual and the strange.